Great, you can start.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Is it time for me to begin?
Yes, please. People are still trickling in, but you can start. So we're on time.
Looks like I should begin. Okay. I see we've got 25 participants. Great. So my name is Peter McPherson. I am the person that is in charge of the graduate programs in pharmacology and graduate pharmacology at U of T. And let me give you some, I hope this will be helpful, give you some idea of what we do here for our graduate programs. We've got a master's program that's generally speaking a 2-year program. We've got 2 streams for this master's program. We've got a course-based stream and a thesis-based stream, and I'll tell you about those. We've also got a PhD program. If you're coming in with a master's already, we consider this a 4-year program. If you're coming straight from undergraduate, it's a 5-year program. A number of our students will start in the master's program, in the thesis-based program, and they'll transfer to the PhD program as well. So that's another option for entry into the PhD program. So our graduate program, we have about 70 graduate faculty members, and we have 186 graduate students currently right now. 40 of those are in the thesis-based masters, 46 are in the course-based masters, and we have 105 PhD students at various points in the program. For September, we took in 51 new students. We had 20 new PhD students and 31 master students. Normally, we take 16 new course-based master students every year. And what do students study in the graduate program? There's a wide variety of options, and they can take place in a clinical research setting or translational research setting. Maybe it's behavioral pharmacology. It can be at the bench doing molecular pharmacology. Generally speaking, we have a lot of students who are studying drug addiction, or they might be studying neuropharmacology. But we also have a significant number of people looking at molecular pharmacology, cancer pharmacology, receptors and signaling, clinical pharmacology, cardiovascular pharmacology, drug metabolism and kinetics, pharmacogenetics and genomics, and toxicology. And we also have a collaborative specialization that our department is the home department for, known as biomedical toxicology. So once you're all done, what do people do when they graduate from our program? Either the master's or the PhD. There's a number of different career opportunities for our graduates. A large amount of them will end up working in pharma industry or biotech industry. They might be working, doing the actual research in laboratories, coordinating clinical studies, might be working in regulatory affairs or various places in management or administration, business development, venture capital. A lot of our students end up working in consulting. A significant number of students will work in government positions, either Health Canada or the Provincial Health Agency, perhaps in environmental laboratories or forensic toxicology at the federal, provincial levels. And then, of course, there's a number of students who want to pursue academia. They might go on to become university professors or work in community colleges or other teaching placements. And finally, we'll have a number of students who opt to go into working in research in hospitals or research institutes. So let me start off, and I'll give you some information about the master's program, and I'm going to talk first of all about the applied clinical pharmacology field. That's the course-based option, and that's a 2-year program. It's a course-based stream within the master's degree program in pharmacology. So applied clinical pharmacology really appeals, I think, to students who want to get the research experience that a graduate program will offer, but they don't want to necessarily focus on narrow on a thesis or thesis-based research. They want to get more breadth. So doing the applied clinical pharmacology stream, you're going to get exposed to a number of different of ideas and develop a number of skill sets in clinical pharmacology, clinical trial design, regulatory procedures, and that's going to hopefully prepare you well for a career in clinical pharmacology. So the nice thing about this program is it's actually quite small. We only take 16 students a year, so the classes are quite small, and we can do a lot of one-on-one with students to help give them the individual program that they want to take. The classes are small and interactive. It's going to give you some breadth of knowledge in clinical pharmacology. A number of courses are going to give you the laboratory skills and research opportunities that you'll want in a graduate program. And in addition, we have a number of practicum opportunities that are going to help you determine what kind of career interests you the most and give you some work environment experience. And what are the placements? There's a number of different companies and organizations that we partner with that offer the practicum experience. And I have to say a number of the students that do start in these practicums end up getting job offers from these places that give them a job once they graduate, which is enticing for a number of people. Okay, so the thesis-based stream in our master's program, I'll tell you a little bit about that. Again, it's a 2-year program. This is what I'll call the traditional master's thesis based program, where you're going to secure a graduate supervisor if you receive conditional acceptance, and you're going to do thesis research supported by that graduate supervisor who's going to pay you a stipend, and that's going to cover your tuition and hopefully most of your living expenses. We only make you take one course. This is only one course that we make you take, and it's known as graduate pharmacology, and that is 2 hours a week from September to April in your first year. At the beginning of your second year in the fall, we have you do a seminar, which you present to the whole department. It's going to basically tell us what you're doing for your thesis research, how it's going, and hopefully you'll get valuable feedback from the audience about that. And then finally, at the very end, you're going to write up a thesis, and you're going to defend it in front of a thesis committee. So a lot of our applicants are interested in the master's program, and they can't make up their mind. Should it be the thesis-based program that I apply to, or apply clinical pharmacology? They can't decide what. And I'll tell you right now, if you're one of those people who's interested in both programs, you can simply apply and apply to one of them. And if you want to be considered for the other one, just simply email me and let me know, and we can arrange that to happen. Okay, I'll spend some time talking about our PhD program, and we have 2 ports of entry for entry. Some of our students complete a master's. They're going to be in the 4-year program. If you're coming right out of undergraduate, you're going to do the 5-year program. And as I mentioned before, there's students who are in the master's program, the thesis-based one. They can opt to transfer into the PhD program. So what's involved with doing a PhD in our department? You're going to be doing dedicated thesis research, and you're going to be supported by a graduate supervisor that you secure when you get conditional acceptance. We make you take a grand total of 2 courses. You're going to do one course known as graduate pharmacology, the same one that the master's students take, and you're going to do one other course. Hopefully it will be a breadth course, which will give you some breadth. That's what this is designed to do. You're going to do 3 seminar presentations on your thesis research. One at the beginning of the program, one in the middle, and one at the very end of your program. You're going to do 4 modules, breadth modules, which are informal learning opportunities in areas of research in the department that are outside of your thesis research. And finally, you're going to write up a thesis and defend it in front of a PhD thesis committee. So some of you might be, reading your paper early in the morning and pondering what to do. If you are interested, maybe you'll want to start as a master's student and transfer into the PhD program, or maybe you'll want to opt and just apply directly into the PhD program out of undergraduate. And either of these is a good option. A lot of it is going to be about the supervisor that you might be interested in working for. Are they normally likely to take a master's student, or are they normally likely to take a PhD student? And a lot of labs will want to start and take you as a master's student and then see how it goes. And then if there's interest from both sides, you'll transfer to the PhD program. Other laboratories really want to take PhD students only. So again, this is something that if you're interested in this, you can simply talk with me more about it or ask some questions at the end. Are there, oh, I can answer this. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to answer the questions at the very end, if you don't mind. I'll keep those in mind. Okay, so graduate admission statistics. We normally get about 300 applications a year. We will go through all of those and give what I'll call provisional or conditional acceptance to about 60 or 80 of these, and maybe about 25% of these are for the applied clinical pharmacology stream. This year, we admitted 51 students into all the programs. And applying to the program, it should be pretty straightforward, and it's all online. We have our application site at our department website. You simply go to the grad programs tab and then go to admissions, and then you'll see an application portal there. We've got two things you'll have to consider if you're applying. If you're a visa student and you're studying outside North America, your application deadline will be sooner. You'll want to go and pay the application fee by January 14th. You want to pay the application fee by January 14th, and we'll want to have all the documentation, including the reference letters, want them all in by the January the 28th. So everyone else, and this is domestic applicants, and if you're a visa applicant that happens to be studying at the University of Toronto, your deadline will be April 15th to pay for the application fee, and we'll need the reference letters and all the other documentation by April 29th. So there are benefits to applying early if you're a thesis-based student, okay? There will be so many laboratories that have openings for thesis-based students. We will get more applications for the thesis-based program than we have spots available. So it's better to apply early. It's better to apply early. And we will look at applications every month and make decisions on applications every month. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you can get a conditional acceptance, and the more time you have to look for a thesis supervisor. There will be a large number of supervisors who will put up their hand at the beginning in the spring and say, I'm looking for students. By the time it's June or July, that number will be much, much lower. So it's better to apply early so you have the most chance of securing a supervisor. And if you have any questions about securing a supervisor, if you receive conditional acceptance, you can talk to me and I can help you and guide you through that process. Now, I think, oh, wonderful, it's 12:44. I've got lots of time for questions. And I see two questions here in the chat. Hello, I am an international student in my 4th year of studies. I'm going to be taking a working gap year before doing my PhD in pharmacology. After this gap year, will I still be able to apply as a domestic student for PhD direct entry? Will this gap year impede my chances of getting into the PhD program or not? It will not impact your ability to get into the program at all. You can apply as an international student or domestic student. If you're doing a gap year and you want to apply as a domestic student, I'm assuming you will have received permanent residency by then. But I'll tell you what, there's no bias between looking at international applicants versus domestic applicants, we consider them equally. I hope that helps. Are there any restrictions, requirements for international students? No. We just need you to submit your documentation earlier, which gives us more time to look at things. What does the conditional acceptance mean? That's a great question. It basically means we'll look at your application. I will probably interview you. There'll be an interview, and then we will take that information to our admissions committee, and they'll give a thumbs up or thumbs down. And if it's thumbs up, it means you've received the conditional acceptance. It means then you are free to secure a thesis supervisor. And I can help you with that. I can guide you. I can tell you who's looking and who's not. Once you secure a thesis supervisor, someone who's going to actually supervise your thesis research and pay you a stipend, they will let me know. And then I will generate a formal offer letter for you. That's basically what it means. So it's conditional on you finding a thesis supervisor. That's usually the main criteria that needs to be met. Okay, let's see what else we got here. When does the department usually begin reviewing applications? If, you know, the application deadline for payment was middle of January, if there are completed applications that we received before that, we may actually start interviewing people at the beginning of January. I like to get those conditional acceptances out as soon as possible. Now, for international applicants, we don't do what I'll call a conditional acceptance. It is, you will receive a message from me that will invite you to secure a thesis supervisor if you're interested in doing the program. And then once you do secure a thesis supervisor, then we'll generate an offer letter that you'll use to secure your student visa. Other questions, folks? Oh, why are professors thesis supervisors? What's in it for them? That's a great question. A lot of what happens is we're doing research, and part of the job of doing research in our department is training graduate students to do research. So it's a privilege actually to be able to take graduate students and train them. So that is, and it's, you normally when faculty are doing research, the research needs people to do the research. It's part of having an active research program is having graduate students that are going to be part of the laboratory to help the research. If I'm currently enrolled in a course that ACP students are also taking, would I need to repeat this course if I get accepted? No, absolutely not. You would be exempt from that course, and you would have the opportunity to take another course. And the wonderful thing about graduate school is you can take just about anything you want as long as the instructor gives you permission. There's a lot of our course-based students, and in fact, our thesis-based students who will take courses in other departments and other faculties, as long as they get permission. So you could take courses in public health, you could take courses at Rotman, you can take courses in computer science, and it's great. So it's a great opportunity to get some breadth. Other questions? Is it common for a two-year undergraduate student to get in for the applied pharmacology stream? Is it common for a two-year? So normally you would have if yeah, right. If you're so we're admitting students who've had an appropriate undergraduate degree. So they're in their fourth year. Usually they're in their fourth year when they apply. Does that make sense? Am I answering your question properly? It normally is. Yes, some kind of undergraduate degree, an appropriate undergraduate degree, meaning a third year or a fourth year. Other questions, folks? Oh, here's a question. What do you look for in an applicant? What we're looking for in an applicant, hopefully you're really interested in pharmacology or toxicology, and hopefully you're really interested in research. That really helps. Hopefully your grades are pretty good. And one thing I really like is for students who are applying is to have some undergraduate research experience. That's not a requirement, but it's very desirable because those are the strongest reference letters you're going to get are from undergraduate supervisors who've seen you do research and can imagine you being a graduate student, and they write in the reference letter, hey, I can imagine Esther being a graduate student in your program because I've seen this person do research, and they did great. Oh, is this the Leslie Dan Faculty of Pharmacy? No, it is not. Pharmacology is in the Faculty of Medicine. Are there programs, courses specific for forensic science at U of T, graduate pharmacology program? So we do not have a graduate program for forensic science. Oh, somebody's going to answer that. Okay, great.
Oh, you can answer it and just, yeah. Any further questions?
Any other questions I can answer? Well, folks, I think my time is
There's
up.
one there.
I
There's
hope
one
that's
more.
been helpful. You can always, if you think of a question that you want answered and you didn't want to ask it now. Yes, this is not faculty. This is not Leslie Dan Faculty of Pharmacy. So if you have any questions, you can always email me. Always email me and we can set up a Zoom call and chat about applying to the graduate program. I hope this is helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day and hopefully we'll see your application.
Thank you so much, Peter.